Wild things. A mother in Calcutta, India, a daughter in California on the west coast of America, and a son in Vermont in the American East. They are a family divided by time and distance, love and anger. The day comes when sister must talk to brother, when they must reconnect with the past and with each other. But where are the words that will cross that great, lonely divide? There is grey in the sky and a strange bleeding pink I've never seen before. Or perhaps the freezing cold is confusing me. I hold a wool coat around me, a coat that is too large for me, borrowed from my brother, Darren, for this boat trip. I am trying to remember how it feels to be warm. I am not quite sure why we are on this ferry, why we are attempting to cross this frozen lake. The wool has a smell of something dark and secret and close to the body. A smell that I find hard to connect with my brother, younger than me by 5 years, the baby of the family. How angry he used to be when I called him that. And now, this smell, as new to me as the hard adult lines of his face next to me, dark against the snow-covered banks of the lake, and just as disturbing. It is March in Vermont, on the eastern side of the United States, the last day of my visit. Tomorrow I will return to my husband Sandeep, my 2 daughters, and my garden in Sacramento, California, where it is so warm that purple bougainvilleas flower even in winter. I haven't done what I came here to do. I haven't found a time to tell Darren that our mother, to whom he hasn't spoken in years, is dying in India. I haven't found a way to beg him to go to her. The River Queen shakes under my feet as the boat makes its uneven way across the lake. I can hear ice breaking somewhere below. Perhaps there are fish down there, their thin, silver bodies broken by the ferry's steel teeth, the water slowly turning the same pink as the sky. Wrong again, my brother would say, if he knew what I was thinking. The fish know they have to stay away from the boat. They have the intelligence of wild things. Or would he say that? I'm not sure anymore. I pull the coat collar further up and turn away from the wind. It's been a long time since we shared our dreams, our fears. The first thing I noticed when I arrived at Darren's apartment yesterday was the photograph on his bedside table. A laughing girl with fair skin and reddish gold hair. She was wearing jeans which I thought were too tight. There was blue in the background, perhaps the same lake. I was wrong to be angry. I knew that. He had the right to his own life, to run around with a white girl if that's what he wanted. He had the right not to tell me. 10 years of living in this country had taught me that. I still felt angry, though. Darren, whose photo is this? My girlfriend's. He spoke in English. He'd been doing that ever since I got to Vermont, although I had spoken to him in Bengali. Was it because he had forgotten Bengali, or was it to annoy me? Perhaps it was just that. After so many years among Americans, it was an easier language for him. Your girlfriend? I realized that I'd started using English too, and was cross with myself. You never told me you had a girlfriend, especially a white one. What is Ma going to say when she finds out? I sounded just like a big sister, and I hated that. It wasn't what I had meant to say. Darren shrugged his shoulders. In the light of the bedside lamp, his face was empty of guilt or concern. You can have the bed if you like, he said. I'll sleep on the sofa. In my mind, I saw the girl's red hair spread over the pillow, her pale arms tight around my brother's brown back. No, I'll be very comfortable on the sofa, I said quickly. I thought you might say that, Darren said. Was the look in his eyes amused or just polite? Are you going to let Ma know about her? I burst out. It was a stupid question. Taryn hadn't written to her mother or replied to her letters ever since he came to this country. But sometimes stupidity is all we're left with. There's a nice movie on at the cinema tonight. Want to go? He said. This time I had no trouble reading my brother's eyes. They were bored. What I remember most clearly of Taryn from his childhood are his eyes. They were very bright and very black. I could see myself reflected in them, tiny and clear and more beautiful than I really was. Maybe that was why I loved him so much. Everyone called Taryn a good boy. He never got into trouble like the neighbors' children. Coming back from school, he usually avoided the other boys' noisy games in the empty field near our house. He preferred being with Mother and me. He used to help us prepare vegetables in the kitchen or make the bread. But what he liked best was listening to my mother's stories. Stories her mother had told her, of kings and queens, talking animals, and jewels which opened doors to secret passages in caves. When they came to visit, our women relatives used to congratulate Ma on bringing him up so well. They thought I was too talkative and too interested in the foreign magazines I borrowed from wealthier friends. And as a widow, you've done it all alone too, they used to add. Actually, I think he's too quiet, Ma said, frowning. He spends too much time with just the two of us. I wish he'd go out and make more friends, learn more about the world and how to feel comfortable in it. After all, I won't always be around, and his sister will get married and move away. Really, Malabika, the women told her. As they say, you don't know you got a good thing until you lose it. Now, with so many things slipping away from me, I understand the truth of that saying. If I were an artist, I would paint our past to keep it safe forever, and then I would be able to show it to Darren. I would paint that dark kitchen, our own cave, with its safe smells of cooking, the small blue light from the gas cooker in the corner. 3 people, sitting cross-legged on the cool floor, making food for each other while the stories wrapped us in their magic.